What is going on, everyone? My name is Northy, and welcome to, once again, another late preview. Of course, as I mentioned in a previous video, I am putting these Teamcoach videos to one every week now, just to kind of give myself a little bit of a break in terms of getting content recorded in amongst a busy schedule I've got in my life. And I think there are some better videos that I can make that will be a bit more, I guess, entertaining. Although not to say that these videos aren't entertaining, I'm just saying I think I can put both of those videos into this one. So we're going to have a look at how we did last week, and of course we're going to have a look at Gather Rounds round, and we're going to have a look at and see whether we've got a team that could potentially win us a prize card. We have not got one yet, and I'd love to show one off. We're just going to have to wait and see. We're going to have to wait and see if we've got what it takes to get one, and I'm very excited to see what our team is looking like and how we go after today, because of course by the time you're watching this, we have seen Adelaide Geelong. I currently don't know the score, but at the time I'm recording this, it's halftime, and it is a high-scoring game. I think Adelaide's up by 2 goals. It's like 72-60. Ridiculously high scoring, and I'll be able to talk a little bit about that as we go through it all. But of course, if you enjoy today's video, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Everything is always very, very much appreciated, as per usual, when it comes to the Teamcoach stuff. Trying to hit 4K as soon as we possibly can would be fantastic if we can do so sometime soon. But nonetheless, I appreciate you all very, very much. In the meantime, enjoy, sit back, and let's have a look at how our week has gone and what our week looks like. Here we are. Of course, we have a look at the best players for round 4. Unfortunately, I had none of these guys. Sam Darcy has been getting better and better. Darcy Cameron took the ruck position. Tristan Sherry isn't as dominant as he was at this rate last year. Hopefully we can see Tristan Sherry with the big one this week. But Hugh McCluggage took the best midfielder, and Zach Guthrie took the best defender. So that is what I did not expect. Nonetheless, we're going to have a look through at our, let's go fantasy forecast first, because I have picked this one, and you won't see it straight away because the player pretty much zipped out of existence. But nonetheless, we'll have a look here at past results, and you can see, we see our round 4 result. We had Tristan Sherry. We put our Tristan Sherry one in there, and our total margin ended up being 40 points away. So our fantasy points margin was 35 away, our disposals was 2, marks was 2, and tackles was 1. So I think overall rank is in reference to the individual player. I'm not sure what exactly it means, but nonetheless, we weren't on the money, and I don't think we got the card. It's all still very confusing. I don't think we got the team set. I'll find out very soon if we did, but I think it still makes us kind of put in our details and send it off their way. So we're going to have to wait and see what it looks like when we do win. I'll be able to tell, I'd assume so. I'd imagine there's a pop-up that shows up if we do win anything, but all the details are already in the account. That's the update with the Teamcoach site this year. So that's something we have to kind of look out for. But I managed to get a Tristan Sherry in last video, the last Teamcoach pack opening, and I chucked it in here. It is gone, so unfortunate about that, but similar kind of entries to this one. I'm gonna try and put multiple ones in for round 6, see if we can do that. Not sure if it'll happen, because I'm not sure if it is only a 1 per team or 1 per round, 1 card per round thing that we've got going on. But if we can put multiple in, it opens up our chances pretty well. We'll have to find out, and we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Tristan Sherry again, very similar to past results here, in the sense that similar fantasy points. I think I went no goals again, 4 tackles. I think I went 3 marks. Disposals, I think I went to like 19, and then a little over 100 for our fantasy points. I guess the good thing about this game mode really doesn't matter if you have a good game or a bad game, in the sense of whether your player is on a good team or a bad team. You just have to make sure you can predict their stats. And so you can see, obviously, due to last week, 40 points average is not exactly what we were looking for. Again, gonna do some testing out with Fantasy Forecast. It's a game that I'm not too sure about just yet. We'll have to wait and see, really. We just have to wait and see. We'll move on, though. We're going to our next one, which is Top Team. Again, Top Team, a lot of fun, as it always is. A bit confusing, though, here and there. This is what the team's looking like. So no change with the Rankin pick, and Rankin's doing quite well at the moment. I think he had like 40 points by halftime, which is okay for a forward. We'll take that. Tristan Sherry is still our ruck. I still trust the man. I'm not sure if anyone in here, there probably is someone I could, yeah, we had Darcy Cameron, so we could have switched him in, but still, here and there, some players. Tom de Koning is probably the other one that's really close to him that I could maybe change out for. But other than that, we look at our midfield. I put in Zach Merritt. They're up against Melbourne, so for the sake of Merritt and how well he's been playing to start the year, I hope he does well. Switched away from Port because I think that's what I had recently. Connor Rosey, potentially. All I know is I've had him before, and Connor Rosey is now going to have some of his posies taken away from Horn Francis, who's starting to pick it up, and Butters, who is back in the lineup. And then Lockie Whitfield is just playing very well, very consistently. Obviously, didn't get number one. Zach Guthrie got that, but with the way that Lockie Whitfield has been playing, he well and truly deserves his spot. So this is what it's looking like. I think the only change was the midfielder, but I could be wrong. Nonetheless, we have a look at the ladder from last week. Our ladder, you can see nothing in there. We do not have last week's result in just yet, but we were sitting just outside. I'm looking at the season fantasy season fantasy points, because the round 4 fantasy points has a player who I don't think I can show it. If you've seen it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, not in the top 10. Can't remember exactly our score last week. Again, it's not showing it here, but it has shown it in the week beforehand. So I'll need to make sure I record before the week happens. All I know is there's some interesting names here and there that I am keen to show, and that are quite funny, but also very disrespectful. We'll go to that, but yeah, just outside the top 4, top 10. I think we're just in the hundreds. Just before we hit the double digits, we're in the triple digits. But again, with the top 4, it's hard to get in that top 10. You pretty much have to be spot on to get yourself in the top 10 for 4-star. So if you get a prize card from this one, well done, well deserved. Let's have a look though. 18-star. This is what ours is looking like. So a few changes here and there. Jay's had a poor game last week, which was unfortunate, but hopefully he can get a bounce back. We've got Nick Martin in instead of Ed Richards, because Nick can rack up some big posse games. Bailey Dale, I'm hoping, will do well. He's up against a side that could be beneficial for him. Harry Sheasel, he's just one that I keep in for my own sake. He's getting more midfield minutes, so it's really exciting to see him continue to get better and better. Tom Stewart came off a really, really good game. That one, I can't remember off the top of my head, but Tom Stewart came off a really good one, I believe against Melbourne, so did his part. And then Lockie Whitfield, again, we've mentioned him. He's been doing his thing. So hopefully that means that this backline will be able to actually stand up again. Tom Stewart, I'm not exactly sure how he's doing right now. I will be sure to check. Actually, I'll check now. I have done a classic Northy. Tom Stewart is not playing, so that is not a good sign for me. I'm going to need some big backup here from my other players now. That is so dumb. That is just so me, though. It really is. Bailey Smith, on the other hand, he's playing and he's doing all right. I think he's at 50 points halfway through the third, so I'd love to see him do a little better. But of course, I don't know why I thought Tom Stewart was playing. He's always kind of in and out. I don't know. I really know how to make myself confused and really mess myself up. Tom Stewart not playing. Really sour note for the back line, but hopefully the rest of them can back it up. But yeah, Bailey Smith, he had a good one last week. Hoped he could do it again. He definitely needs to play well in order for Geelong to get over the top, and they're doing well. It's a close game at the moment, but Tristan Sherry, again, in the ruck. Jordan Dawson, we're keeping him in. I think Dawson is doing well too, so good on him. We look on Jake Saligo as well, so a lot of people playing in tonight's game. Saligo doing well, Dawson doing well. The really regular, I guess, way that Adelaide do their thing. Yeah, so as I'm looking at it, Dawson's doing well. Saligo is actually kind of falling behind, so hopefully he can pick that up before the end of the game. Either way, not too bad at picks there. Zach Merritt again, I had him in his top 4, so hopefully good things happen there. Paddy Cripps, so we've got Patrick Cripps in here again. Yeah, I don't know how it'll go, but the main reason I've got him in there is because they're up against West Coast. So it's either going to be him or it's going to be Walsh, who go absolutely off. Whether they win is a different story. We'll find out. But for Carlton's sake, they better win. Isaac Rankin having a cracker right now. So is Darcy Fogarty. Fogarty's kicked 4 at the time I'm recording this, and they're still in the third quarter. Could end up in a different way. The only negative is Riley Thilthorpe. He is not having the game that we expected, but that is okay. Again, these ones making up for it, and if you can get good forward lines, then things go well. Toby Green having a great start to his season. Brian Myers, I'm actually not sure how he's doing. Yeah, a bit lackluster from Brian Myers, so not what we wanted to see there, but Sam Darcy is probably the big one that I'm really excited for. Sam Darcy had some fantastic games so far, is really breaking out this year, so if we can manage to get him on a good week, that'll be fantastic. Again, won it last week for the forward, so if we can do it again, fantastic stuff. Toby Green, yeah, I think I've mentioned him already. Having a great start to the season. We can only hope that he keeps up with it. Let's check the ladder, though. I think, yeah, it doesn't show me anywhere here, but that's the season. We look at the round 4 fantasy points, and Who is this? I got sent this by someone. Who is this? What the hell? I mean, you've beaten me this week, so I'll allow it. But that's so disrespectful. I can't believe it. What is this? This is not nice. When someone sent me that, I did have a good laugh, but enjoy the prize card. I just don't like that you've done it off my name, you dog. They've gotten the minimum being 1,804 in order to get yourself a prize card this week, so well done to those who did again. Don't think I'm going to be a prize card winner this week in top 18 with the way it started, but you can only, I guess, kind of watch and hope. You can only hope that things get better. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe I have some fantastic winners and fantastic players as the game goes on. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Nonetheless, we move on from top team. We go to star powers. Now, funny enough, star powers, I have made no changes. I don't know how I feel about it. I kind of wanted to give this another go. I've got a feeling that this could work out. Again, I did it last year, right, where I did tell myself, right, maybe I can make some changes here and there. And then the minute I make the changes, the players play really well. So I've just gone, screw it. We're going to put them in, keep them the same way. If it happens again, I'll move it around. But so far, again, ranking, fantastic start. And the hope is the rest of them can keep up with it. So Dacos didn't have a great game. Neither did Rosie last week. Hopefully, with another week to go and kind of a week to bounce back, they can do so. Same goes with Sherry, right? Sherry didn't have a fantastic game. But again, the hope is he can somehow find a way to keep it up. He's got a tough one against Jared Witts, so hitouts may not be so guaranteed as they can be against some other ruckmen. But at the same time, Sherry can get himself around the ground and get himself involved in the play. Best of luck to Sherry, and hopefully he does well. And then Will Ashcroft had himself a decent game too. So I'm hopeful that that'll turn out to be a good idea. Just keeping them in, keeping them going. Again, with the way that Isaac Rankin has started, I'm feeling good about this team. Let's check the ladder though. Again, my team isn't there, but it's really hard to do these silver star powers. And with the average games, I wouldn't say bad games, but average games from the first three, it didn't really give us a chance. We had to get ourselves in the 500 range, which is such a tough thing to do. You have to get yourself like all 120s basically, 125 each, right? And if you had a dude who got 140, then you'd be living well. But yeah, 573 from the top is insane work. I don't know how you do that. That's incredible stuff from them. But yeah, we've just got to hope we can do better next round. And Ultra, same thing. Again, my thought was maybe we put in Giant Newcomb again, right? But Jace Burgoyne had a very unlike him game, if that makes sense. A very un-Jace Burgoyne game with the way he started, right? Super quiet from Jace Burgoyne's standards, considering how well he's played to start. And I'd love to see him just bounce back, just have a fantastic game this week. Would be so nice to see. He's playing off the wing. There's all the chance he can do it. I know in Adelaide Oval, the ball likes to go to that wing, so I'm really, really hopeful that Jace will be able to do his thing over there. Isaac Heaney had himself a good game, which is good. Again, we talked about Sherry. Again, he's a good pickup. I'm glad I got the card. I just wish he was doing a little better right now. I really do. Again, the big thing is Giant Newcomb. Is that going to pay off? I've kept Rosie in still. I don't know how to feel. Again, I thought, for the sake of my own sanity, maybe we give it another shot. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm not going to try and put too much thought into it, because the minute that I do, I end up making a mistake. And so hopefully, with the fact that all the players are playing in this one, which is always a good positive, and the fact that I know that these players are all capable of having fantastic games, we can make something work here. I'm really, really banking on it, to be honest, but we'll see how it turns out. Fingers crossed as always. Let's have a look at the ladder. Of course, with some of the players and some of the outcomes, it just wasn't going to happen. We have a look at the most recent round, 743. It's so doable. It is so doable to get this one. I really am confident in getting myself a good week this week. But it just comes down to these guys playing their usual game. Rankin's off to a good start. Sherry, if he can get over 100, fantastic. Heaney in the midfield over 100, fantastic. Burgoyne, if he can get himself involved like he has in the past, high hundreds, maybe in the 110s, fantastic. You get 600 points from those guys off the rip. All these guys have to do is play a normal game. That's all they have to do. And Rankin's doing it. Rosie, please do it. Please, 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 please do not let me down. I feel like if there's any winner this week, it's right here. It's got to be this one. These guys have to win it. If they don't, I will be shattered. I really will. So we'll see how it turns out. Again, it's just a fingers crossed. You put fingers crossed and hope it all works out. You really do. I think Burgoyne's performance probably ruined me. Sherry's did too. Again, if your double points players don't do well, it makes it very, very hard to do big things in your game mode. So again, it's a fingers crossed game. Hopefully it all goes well. We'll see how it turns out, man. We'll see how it turns out. But I think we've got one more thing to look through, and it is the tips. Now, of course, this isn't the round. We've got round 6 here, but we want to go through round 5. So I'll go on the AFL website and have a look through there. So as you can see at the time of recording this, Adelaide are currently winning 82-78, and I have tipped Adelaide. So I am hoping that they hold on. Super high scoring game. Really exciting stuff in this one. I can't wait to watch it after this. But we go to Collingwood, Sydney. I know a lot of people have picked Sydney. I've swung Collingwood way. I was going to say Adelaide because I saw Adelaide Oval. I've swung Collingwood. I think a lot of people are thinking Sydney can take it from them. But I think Collingwood, I think they can do it. North versus Gold Coast. Look, I'd love to be happy and excited and say North have a chance. But Gold Coast are just too good, man. They are going to win this one. We move to Carlton, West Coast. It should be Carlton. It should be Carlton. We've seen this before, right? A team they should beat, in Richmond in particular, and they go ahead and lose. This has to be the game they finally get their first win. If they don't, changes need to be made. Big changes. Big changes. Dogs versus Lions. With the way the Lions have been playing, they've been doing enough against every team they play to beat them. And beat them, maybe not comfortably, but convincingly. And they did it against Richmond last week. Nothing massive, but they held the lead for the entire game. They did their thing. I think they do it again. But I don't know if the Dogs are going to make it such an easy fight. They have their way of doing that. We're going to go, though, Melbourne versus Essendon. With the way Melbourne have been playing, I just can't see them winning this one. Even though Essendon, sure, they're not the greatest at the moment. But they should take this. Essendon should take it. Richmond versus Freo. I'm going Freo. I think Richmond... look, they do have the opportunity to pull off some shock upsets, as we saw round 1. But with their players of recent... they just can't put a full game together, and that's going to be a big problem. Hopefully, Freo can finally show what they should be doing. I think that this could have potential upset written on it, but I went Freo's way. St Kilda versus GWS. I am on the St Kilda hype train. I've been told like how their usual games go, and last week they broke it apart. Beating Port in Adelaide. Look, Port haven't been fantastic this year, but that is still a really tough thing to do, and they did it in a gutsy way. I think they can do it against GWS. I really do, and we'll find out. I don't think GWS have played too well at Norwood Oval, but yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. It is a very strange ground, Norwood Oval. I love it. I really do, so I'm excited to see how it looks. But then we go Port versus Hawthorn to run it out. I hope Chase Burgoyne, Connor Rosé, I hope you guys have fantastic games, but I'm going to say Hawthorn win it. I'm going to say Hawthorn win it convincingly, despite Port Adelaide being on the home deck with all the crowd most likely going for them. We'll see how it turns out, though. Hawthorn have played some very, very convincing footy. Again, the only side that I'm convinced top 4 confirmed. The only one. So we'll see how it turns out. If they lose this one, maybe I can go back on it. I don't know. But yeah, Hawthorn look like they will take this pretty convincingly, pretty easily maybe. Again, we'll see how it all turns out. I'm glad that my tips show up here. That's always helpful. But yeah, you can see here, I was nowhere near the top 10. Only one person was in the top 10 without a perfect round. I had 5. So I was nowhere near. I can't remember off the top of my head what I tipped. I'm annoyed that it doesn't tell you what you tipped. But yeah, it's a bit different to previous years. That's unfortunate. It's all right, though. We kind of knew it was going to happen. Unless we have a perfect week, I think we are going to be missing out on this one. And the prize isn't too great for tips anyways, but some free packs is always great. And that is how we're going to finish off today's video. So, like I said, putting everything into it. Again, I need to make sure I record this before the first game starts because all the results and stuff had all disappeared by the time I went to go look at it. So, unfortunate there, but at the same time, I'm going to do my best to make sure that from this week onwards, these videos are really in depth, on time, and ready to go for you guys. Of course, a lot of footy card content coming out, which I'm really, really proud of, but I know that you guys want to make sure that you get your Teamcoach teams ready and compare them to mine. I know a lot of people enjoy the Teamcoach stuff, so I'm going to try and stay on top of it as much as I can, and it's all up to whether I have the time, really, but I know for something like this I can do so. So we'll see how it turns out this week. Of course, a few mistakes already, but we'll move past it, and we've got plenty of weeks to go. So I appreciate you all tuning into this one. If you liked it, be sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, everything is always very much appreciated. Be sure to check out Northy Breaks and Zero Access Footy, both my breaks page and my podcast. That is both in the description if you want to see more of me. But nonetheless, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.